Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today it's Friday and it's January the 7th, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to extend to you a warm welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're a returning viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so very frequently here on these YouTube streets, so you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want to thank you for your support. Feel free to like and to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. And our story today comes from the city of Fayetteville here in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, Motorcyclist Murdered at the Traffic Stop, Road Rage versus Hate Crime. And this is a story that made international news this week, and all for the wrong reason. So I want to share with you what has been reported, and I want to encourage you to stick with me until the end so I can share with you my personal views on this incident. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll place links to a few of the full articles in the description box. And our story today is about the murder of this young man, 33-year-old Stephen Addison, an Army veteran and a married father of 4 children living in Fayetteville, in what has been described as a road rage incident. Mr. Addison was shot and killed at a busy intersection in Fayetteville last Monday in the middle of the day in an incident that was caught on videotape. And many residents are now debating whether his murder is the result of actually road rage or whether it was the result of a hate crime. And this is what we know about this incident. Last Monday, Stephen Addison had just left the gym and was on his way home, but he never made it. At approximately 12:30 p.m., he stopped at a traffic light at a very busy intersection, Cliffdale and Skibo Road. At that intersection, a dark-colored Chevy pickup truck drove up. A heavyset white male, later identified as Roger Nobles Jr., came out of the passenger side of the truck and began a verbal confrontation with Addison, who was still on his motorbike. It must have been a loud altercation because someone began videotaping what was taking place. And in the published video, both men are seen standing and arguing at the traffic light. And then the unimaginable happened. Nobles turned and seemed to step aside as the driver in the truck fired a weapon, striking Addison, the motorist, in the chest. Nobles Jr. he never looked back. He went ahead, got into the truck, and the driver drove off, leaving the injured motorist on the street to die. Mr. Addison was transported to the nearby hospital, Cape Valley Medical Center, and unfortunately he died as a result of that gunshot wound he received to his chest. It wasn't a difficult job for police to find the responsible parties. Based on the information provided at the scene, police had a very good description of the 2 individuals. They also had information on the make, the color of the truck, as well as the license plate. And it did not take them long for authorities to show up at the local residence where the truck in question was parked in the yard. And shortly thereafter, an elderly man was seen being escorted from the house in handcuffs. Later, the Cumberland County Sheriff Office then reported that Robert Noble Sr., age 51, pictured here, had been arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the killing of motorcyclist Stephen Addison. The warrant specifically states that Nobles was driving a 1992 Chevy pickup when his son Robert Dales Nobles got into some type of confrontation with the motorcyclist. It further states that the junior Nobles got out of the pickup to confront the motorcyclist, after which Nobles Sr. fired the shot from the driver's side of the pickup truck, killing the motorcyclist. Police say that Noble Sr. admitted to the shooting, but did not give an explanation for his actions. He currently remains in the county jail where bond has been denied. Now, here is a picture of father and son, senior and junior Nobles. And there is a video circulating, and it clearly shows Nobles Jr. confronting Addison outside of his truck at a traffic light. And in that video, you can clearly see that the junior Nobles, as he got closer to Addison, the senior Nobles fired the shot from the driver's side, hitting Addison. The junior Nobles then looked down at Addison as he fell to the ground. Then he quickly walked back to the truck and he drove away. Now, this video has probably been seen hundreds of times already, and I don't show people's video, but here is a still photo that shows Junior outside of his truck confronting the motorcyclist at that traffic stop. And there is some discussion that the younger noble should also be charged with murder because he was an active participant in this incident. He was the person who got out of his truck and began confronting the motorcyclist. And several experts have been analyzing the video of the incident. Now, these experts have been going over that video, and many of them are saying that this was not an unexpected incident. The experts are saying that based on the reaction Junior Nobles had right before the shot was fired, based on what they could see in the video, he appeared to clear the way for the shots to be fired. The experts are saying that the son, Junior Nobles, knew that his father was going to shoot that man, and he moved out of the way so that the bullet can go through. But this is still early in the investigation, and authorities are asking other motorists with videos, they're asking if they would just bring them in so they could go ahead and analyze them. So right now, Junior Nobles has not been charged, but that does not mean he won't be charged at a later date. And with the assertion that this was a planned murder of a defenseless African-American man riding his motorbike, shooting him and leaving him on the streets to die, many are suggesting that this incident was not necessarily a road rage incident, but that it was a hate crime, and they're calling on the district attorney to file such charges. I saw an interview with the district attorney, and he stated it's still too early to determine if this case fits that classification of a hate crime, but as the investigation progresses, that could eventually become a possibility, but no determination has yet been made. And Stephen Addison's wife and children, they're still in a state of shock and trying to process what happened to that husband and that father. The pictures of the family are simply heartbreaking, and I've decided not to show their photos. They're going through enough as it is. Now, they returned to the scene of the murder to place flowers and other memorabilia and to reflect on the senseless loss. His wife described him as a great guy who lit up every room that he went into. And one of his friends did an interview, and he said, Addison was a great, loving soul. He said he was loving, caring to everyone. He stayed out of the way and was never in anybody's business. And it was just unfortunate that his life was cut short in such a painful manner. And today, Saturday, a tribute is planned. It will involve a walk and a motorcycle ride in the area where he was murdered, followed by a memorial celebration at one of his regular hangouts in the area. And what do I think about it? Well, it seems like deja vu to me. Another resemblance to the Ahmaud Arbery incident. It just seems ironic that the same week we have a sentencing for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, we're having to entertain the presumptive feelings that yet another murder of an African-American man has occurred, and that appears to have similar characteristics. My question is why? In 2022, why are we still having to address these incidents? If it's road rage, the question is why? If it's a hate crime, the question is why are we still at this roadblock? This young veteran was on his way home after leaving the gym, and he did nothing wrong, but he was murdered in the middle of the day at the stoplight. It simply overwhelms me. I am saddened at the loss of another veteran, but I'm even more saddened that despite the military presence and despite the diversity of our surroundings, we're still going out of our way, killing each other for no apparent reason. This has to stop. And you know what? I won't be surprised if the person who admitted to this crime, I won't be surprised if Roger Noble Sr. is also a veteran, and that's even more tragic. I am just at a loss for words. You have a wife who has now become a widow prematurely, and 4 children who will now have to grow up without knowing their dad. I honestly feel that as a people, we can and we must do better. And in the meantime, I offer you my measure of respect, the same as I extend to all fallen veterans. So, Stephen Addison, rest well, my friend, and thank you for your service. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on this notification bell right here, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.